And there you are. It's so good to see you, Hidden Nation. Welcome into the studio. You got Josh Cary right here. It's your hidden entrepreneur. Hidden Nation, I could have spoken to our guest today for hours, but then eventually when we were talking off air, I said, you know what? Enough of this. I have to hit record and let's get this conversation started. Not only is he a fellow New Jersey guy, I'm born and raised in the Great Garden State. So is he. He is also a fellow artist. Now, my background is more in the acting and film world. And I say a fellow artist collectively for all of us, because no matter how you feel about it, you are a creative artist as just a living human being. But our guest today is so much that and more. If you're not seeing the video, he has right behind him a huge canvas of one of his most recent oil paintings, and it is incredible. I say the minute this interview is over, go check him out on your favorite social platform. I am just in awe already about the conversation we're about to have. It is Tony Mills. Tony, welcome to the program.
Josh, how you doing, man, my guy? Thanks for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure. I love the art that you put into the world, and more to the point that I want Hidden Nation to really understand here is that for decades, you've been putting art into the world, and you also do it today for a good cause. You started a nonprofit to help children and their families with special needs. It's called More to Me. That's more and the number 2, me, more to me. Let's start there. Tell me about this nonprofit.
The nonprofit came about a number of years ago when I was in Georgia. I was commissioned for a mural. And I went over there. The lady had 3 boys, and she wanted me to do a mural in their bedroom. So I came up with the idea of a basketball theme. So I went and bought the basketball hoops with the backgrounds, the little Nerf ones. And I put it over their beds so they can have something to play while they're in their room for activities. And then I painted on a wall, which was the stop sign, which shows the records. I meant the numbers of their points or whatever. And then I did a silhouette of them like shooting the ball or whatever on a wall. And man, they loved it. They loved it to the point where she called me back. And at this point, like I said, she had 2 kids. She had 3 boys. 2 of them were regular and 1 of them was exceptional. Anyway, when I got to the house, the exceptional kid said my name, and the mother was surprised. And like, he doesn't talk as much. And she turned around and was like, oh my God, he said your name or whatever like that. And I was like, whoa. And she started tearing up and I started tearing up and we hugging each other and he came and hugged and we crying and tearing out. And man, it was just so emotional. And ever since then, I've been hooked. And I came up with that nonprofit.
So you saw the power of art, not just in a standard feel good, you paint, you commission it, somebody purchases it, hangs it on their wall, and that's great, right? Because we all consume art for a positive benefit as it is, but you took it to a different level. And now you wrote the book on the topic. Your book is Mind, Body, and Art: Unlocking the Healing Powers of Creativity. And isn't that really what we're talking about through the nonprofit?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The book came about because of I stumbled. First, I like to say I'm not a therapist. I'm just an artist speaking from experience. They have professional people who understand
Mm-hmm.
and knows how to facilitate art. So I just wanted to put that out there. So the book came about by me stumbling across this power that I had. But just to keep it short, when I was younger, I did something. I don't want to go on to it, but I was punished. Now, I I wasn't confined to the room, but I did stay in the room most of the time. Didn't want to be around the adults for some reason. But anyway, this is when it kicked in. I noticed that I kept drifting from existence.
Hmm.
And my mother would be calling me at a particular time. She would be calling me maybe for dinner, lunch, or whatever, and I could not hear her. And when she comes downstairs, she's like, "Boy, you ain't hear me. You ain't hear me calling you." I was like, "Nah, I didn't hear you. What are you doing down here?" "I'm painting." And I noticed I kept drifting off. Didn't think of it as a good thing at the time. But then after a while, as I got older, I realized I'm like, oh my God, this is a superpower. I can actually shut the noise down or like turn the volume down if somebody, bickering, I don't want to hear, I don't want to be disturbed or anything. It was my way of escaping reality.
While you're painting.
Yes, while I'm painting.
How old
Now,
were
it
you when you
wasn't,
first discovered that?
I would say about 13, between 13 and 14 years old.
Was it
I
a
didn't really understand it at the time. Um,
Did you
but
understand your talent at the time?
I do understand it and I did understand it. I recognize my talent at a young age. Let me say, um, the day we were born, God gave each and every one of us a gift. Being that he created us in his likeness, the gift most likely has something to do with creativity. So I recognized my talent at a young age. I knew my skills. I knew I had talent. I knew I can draw, but I still had to nurture my talent. So I did. I took it on, but it wasn't as I was practicing. I was just taking it on as this is just something I like. It was just fun.
How was it
That's it.
received in your family? Were
Well, in
they
my
yeah.
family, being that I grew up an artist, it was probably more annoying to my mother because I was in her basement. I'm popping out the ceilings, um, and I couldn't afford no canvas. I could barely afford to paint, so I'm
Oh, you
sleeping
were
down there.
popping out the ceiling to paint on?
Yes, yes, I was using them as canvas. And she come down in the basement, she's all upset, like, where's my pieces at to my ceiling? And then I eventually had to show her, and she took surprise of it. She was like, wow, that's pretty nice. And that's how she came about and started buying my art supplies
Okay.
by me destroying her ceiling.
It's such a great story, Tony. I love that concept. So then what was the next level when you personally, or even maybe with your family or mother's support, was there a shift where you're like, I really like this. I am an artist. And you started taking ownership of that.
Yes,
When?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, when I got in my 20s, as more of an adult, I started taking it more seriously. And this is I kind of moved out of New Jersey into to the Georgia area. So I didn't know anybody. So the whole concept was different of not knowing anyone and no one knows who you are. So it came a little bit easier to take it on more professionally. So I started doing paint classes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, where I just had, adults come in and we just sit down and have fun. And that's when I came up with the concept of I can make this more of a therapeutic class because of of the class were going. You know, well, you find that people are at their most happiest when they're at their creating
Oh yeah.
moment, right? And I noticed that. So I was like, wow, this is a moment where they actually forgetting the 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 drama, the stress, and the BS that life offers when you at this moment,
Wow.
when you at this creative moment. So that's when the therapeutic part came in. It's not the beginning of the creation, it's the middle part when you actually in there having fun in the creation. Not the end version, not the beginning, but the middle
Yeah.
when you actually in your creation.
And that's
Right.
same that you were saying when your mother was calling you for dinner. You literally didn't hear her because you were so deep
I
in,
was so immersed
yes.
into my mind where everything else was blocked out, zoned out. And that's what I call the mind zone. When you just fully immersed inside your own head in your own creation where everything else is blocked out. Nothing negative exists over in this space over here.
Hmm. Tell me
Right.
about, again, I just want to point out to you and the listener over your shoulder. I just keep staring at this incredible painting. I mean, Tony, that is extraordinary work. What
Thank
is
you,
the
Josh.
title of that painting?
The title of this painting is called Colored Girl.
Colored Girl.
Yes.
And it's on canvas.
Self-explanatory with all of the splashes.
Yeah, it's on canvas. It's not from a ceiling tile, right? I guess it's legit canvas. Although that could be your thing. Maybe that would have been part of your art these days. Who knows? Maybe you'll go
It
back
could
to it.
have, right. That was
Good.
different. Right.
So tell me about the time you first sold or got money for your art. What was that like?
um, hold on 1 second.
You got it, Tony.
Right. Oh, you want to repeat that for a minute? That my phone went off it.
Sure. Tell me
Wait.
about the time you first got paid for your artwork.
Oh wow, that was some time ago. That was actually in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was one of my sister friends. I was painting a portrait of a celebrity, and she was coming over for some type of hair thing my sister was giving. And anyway, I had my art laid out, and she seen the picture. It was a picture of Tupac.
Mm,
Yeah, and she was a big Tupac fan, and when she seen the Tupac, she was like, "Wow, how realistic that looks."
yeah.
Um, and she waited maybe like 2 days, and she called my sister back and asked my sister, "Was that picture for sale?" My sister came and asked me, which it wasn't for sale at the time. It was just something that I figured I'll paint for myself.
Sure.
But yeah, so my sister came back and asked me, would I be willing to sell it? And I said, yeah. How much would she give me? It wasn't much, but it was the sale
Oh yeah,
that
it
caught
was.
me, that she appreciated my art. And like I said, I think I sold it for like $100, and I was I was astounded.
Tell me about that. Was there a shift in your thinking and the way that you view your art, you view the world, you view the connection to it?
Yes, when she purchased that art, my mind automatically clicked like, okay, now I am a professional. I can do this for a living. I even quit my job, which I was only working at I think I was working at a bakery at the time,
Mm-hmm.
pushing carts or whatever. And yes, I did quit my job thinking that I can do this for a living. And I just started getting on my grind and started painting a bunch of pictures, and most of them were celebrities.
Wow.
And it didn't work.
It
I
didn't
had
work.
to
What
go
did you
back to
try?
no.
What did you do?
I just try to pull off what the same thing that I've done to her, painted a bunch of celebrity pictures, framed them, and put them for displays. And it didn't work like that. It did the Tupac, right?
Okay,
I
so
had
then what
like an
did
art
you?
show. I
Oh, you
had like a little art show over my sister's house. She invited a couple friends, and I think I sold maybe one more. I sold two. I think I'm gonna just say one. I sold one more, and that was that was the end of that. Right.
what did that do for
So I
you
had,
though? About, did you feel defeated? Did you just say, ah, okay,
well, I didn't feel defeated. I just felt like I need a new plan. I
yeah,
need to think of something different now. Um, it didn't felt like I was ending my art career because it was more of a passion
mm-hmm,
versus a business. I just took it on mentally as okay, I can make this a business because I just made $100. So I figured if I create a few of them, each one of them for $100, I can make out pretty good within a week, not realizing they just might not sell. Right.
wow. So now you
So
certainly didn't give up that passion, that craft, that talent of yours. And connecting the dots now, you've since created More to Me, the nonprofit that helps families and children with exceptional needs, based and motivated by that mural that you painted. And you saw the result. Tell me about the name More to Me.
more to me, art therapy came to me um in a dream. Yeah, I had the concept of what I want to do for a nonprofit, but I didn't have a name. And the name came to me in a dream one day, and it was just like more to me. And I thought, okay, it is. It's more to me than what people actually see visually. There's way more to me that than I can do. You know what I mean? I'm an artist, I'm a creator, I'm a visionary, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm everything that more than what you see. So that's how it popped out. And I was like, wow, that is pretty deep right there. So I had to think of a logo. And I sat down and I was like, okay, I need to think of something that's eye catching, that's gonna grab everybody attention. And being that I'm an artist, I knew that I could pull it off. And I came up with maybe like 3 to 4 different logos. And I went around and started saying, only to family, which one go best with the name. And all of them chose this
Hmm. So, More to Me
one.
art therapy, what is the nature of it? Is it you offering the art in certain circumstances, or is it the people who you allow to immerse in art? What's the nature of the nonprofit?
Well, first I had it where the name was more to me than what you see. And then I think a year or two, something happened where I had to change it because the tax things, whatever. And then I came up with more to me art therapy, which was more of a which was a better vibe because it went with what I was actually doing than more to me than what you see. So I kind of I stuck with that, even though, like I said, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like um, I can still um,
Mhm.
help somebody out through some therapy through the art.
How do you help them?
Just putting them on a better vibration. I explain um, how life works on energy, like you energy.
Mhm.
Um, if you need to be on this positive vibration, you want to be receiving the right frequency, and that's where the book comes in. giving you the right information so your mind can can be on the right vibration, the right vibe.
Yeah, I'm all for
So,
that.
right,
My listeners know that more than anybody. This is about your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, what you put out into the world
right,
is what.
pure energy.
Have you always been playing with that for yourself?
No, no, it's like I said, this is something that I kind of stumbled across um, as an artist. Yes,
Hmm.
nothing that I came up with, nothing that I thought of. It's not my idea or my creation. It's
Hmm.
just something that I stumbled across, and I realized, like, wow, this is actually true, and it actually does work. They
No.
have professionals who facilitate these special gifts
Oh yeah.
and know that art can um, give you personal growth.
The book is Mind, Body, and Art: Unlocking the Healing Power of Creativity. Walk us through the nature of the book. How is it laid out for the reader?
It starts off um, letting you know a little bit about myself and how I came about the concept, and then it walks you into your own mental state of of grasping the idea that art can be a healing power, and then from there it gives you the positive um, ideas about art and knowing who you are and what you're capable of.
Now, going back to the nonprofit art therapy, when uh, when you work with someone, what does that look like?
Um, when I'm actually working with a few. It's always like it's never actually one.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's never actually one. It's always a few.
Right.
Never more than um I would say seven.
In
I
a
never
group.
had seven because the exceptional youth, I guess you try not to put too many
Mm-hmm.
of them in one class because of the noise,
Yeah, of
touching or whatever like that. So
course.
you want to try to keep a small class as possible. Now, I don't always work with the exceptional youth. I work with adults as well and do classes like this. But in this sense, we just keep the class as small as possible. Have the parents there as well, and maybe a licensed therapist. And we start off on the positive side, just fun, keeping everything fun.
And what are you
And,
doing? Are you
and
painting with them? Are they painting?
well, they might be painting, we might be doing. It depends on, I guess, what time of the year it is, because it could be around Christmas, and we could be making some Christmas ornaments. It doesn't always have to be
Oh,
canvas art.
I
It could
see.
be it could be roundabout art.
It's
It could
art
be
therapy
music.
in general. Wow. Yeah.
Right, right. We can come up out of it and go into a different branch where it can be some type of dancing or music, or we trying to get into the instrumental a part of the art in dancing. So we don't want to just focus on just paint
Yeah.
or coloring or anything like that. We're trying to stretch out to all forms of art because everybody got a different um, type of creativity
And
or art
you're,
form.
yeah, and you're putting the curriculum together, or is it with others?
It's with most of the time it's with others. A lot of times I might start off or I might lead with the idea, but then I might need some type of help, which I always need help. Hard to find good help.
What kind of
But
help
yeah,
do
I
you
would
need?
come up with the idea and the curriculum, and I would go ahead and put it out and ask for help.
What kind of help?
People who work with special needs, just a regular maybe like 2 helpers to help out
Mm.
paint. Like if just say they might need some more paint over here, I got the guys who run and give them the paint, and then a young lady who actually works with the special needs, where she might be going over there and helping him out physically.
Well, where are you doing this?
Um, I had a place that I was renting out, which I don't have it anymore. The location. Once the pandemic came in, it kind of like messed our little thing that we had going up. So now, what I do is I do it just by call. If you call me and you want some type of art class or anything like that, then you would go ahead and rent the facility, and I would just become the host, and I would do all of the artwork for us to paint and everything. So it really is like I'm the host of the party until we get back in position and get some type of facility.
I hear that. Tony Mills, absolutely extraordinary. I think it's evident. I'm a huge fan of what you're doing in so many ways,
Thank you.
helping those in need. And just by putting your art out there is exceptional in and of itself. Hidden Nation, it's Tony Mills. Go check him out. Go check the artwork out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go get that book. It is Mind, Body, and Art, Unlocking the Healing Power of Creativity. And stay in touch with Tony. Check out the art. It is really, really powerful. Tony, thank you for joining in today.
You're welcome, Josh. Can I leave the listeners with something?
Please do.
Okay, so try to stay on your best journey and live for the moment today, because the wise choices that you make today will always put you in a better position tomorrow.
Wonderful. Well, there you go, Hidden Nation. We're going to leave it at that. Nothing else needs to be said. Thank you for investing and spending your time with us today. Go do the good work. Put out.
Josh, I thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, you too, Tony.